What I wanted to cover today was, I'm going to jump into Bright here real quick, is we had questions on the forms, and I want to cover those real quick, make sure there's all clarification is good on those, on the actual forms for Bright. Now, of course, they're in SkySlope, they're in the different forms providers. If we need to have them, if we need the Bright libraries, that would be something administrative-wise we need to get set up for you. But they're all there. You just have to import that Bright library. But they're also in Bright. So if you ever need them on the spot, you have that ability to go in, create a digital PDF version, and get those. Those are all straight. If we go into listings, profile sheets, and listing forms. So it's easy to find. Good gosh.
We have these saved in our SkySlope too.
Yeah, good. And Siobhan said they are saved in the SkySlope library. So go into that page. They're right on top. The first things you click into, even before profile sheets. Let's see which one here. So the first one is the disclosures. These are PDF fillable, so you have the access to do them digitally, upload them into SkySlope as a manual form, send those over to your client when you need it. Guys, remember, this is a required form. You have to have this, and Bright will check. They do spot checks. So now you don't have to upload these forms. That's the good thing. Well, we'll take for the client disclosure, you don't have to upload. You do need to upload the new Office exclusive form in listing management. That is being checked. So cover yourself if you're doing an Office exclusive. That's the only time you need that form. So only if. Now, with this, you just simply seller or landlord. There are two separate forms now for the client disclosure. One for the buyer and tenant, and one for the seller and landlord. You know who your client is. Choose the red one for the seller landlord, blue for the buyer. So B for bluer, or B for buyer. Easy acronyms and ways to remember. We have moved it around. They're a little bit easier for you to see and read through. So, and keep in mind, this form is just the first step of what your clients are going to do. So like say if I sign a client who says, I don't want to list my house until, September. That's great. I want to secure them under that listing contract. We have the anticipated date. I have that form. I get them to fill it out. What's our first choice? And if we need to revise that, we can do that over time. I give my client the time and the ability to do it because this is how they want you to operate as their agent. And within that, the date that we're going to start marketing the property is the date you put here in question 1. That is the date that it's due into the MLS, as rules are currently stated. So keep in mind, Bright likes to change rules based on the needs of the users and the biggest mass of what we need. So keep in mind some rules can change between now and next time I talk to you. Then you just put the property address in. Pretty straightforward, right? Then what are their first options? You've got 4. 2A, active. That's fully, hey, I'm going to market your property to the widest amount of folks possible, whether that be sellers or other buyers, and then all the agents who are representing those and those that aren't represented. So they're going to be completely available to everyone. 2B is everyone but syndication. So every agent, and it's just going to be in the MLS, and it's just not going to get pushed out to the syndication and IDX feeds. That's what 2B means. Your internet no. I'm going to jump into listing management to show you all of these options and where to go for that. 2C. What starts with C? What status? Besides closed.
Coming soon.
Thank you. You're coming soon. And whether you're going to syndicate that or not. Now you can always have one thing, put it in, And then if they change their mind after, just go ahead and change it in the system. 2D is you're not going to use the MLS. This is when you need the extra disclosure, the office exclusive or limited marketing disclosure form. So pretty simple with those on which spot, and it's only their first choice. So whenever it goes into the system, the 2 days of, hey, it needs to go in the system, the day we're going to start marketing it within 2 days. So if that's September 1st and today is, April 5th, 16th, sorry, I'm still stuck on tax day. To pay a hefty tax bill this year. Taxes. Oof. But you have that ability to have that listing contract secured and then their first choice. And you can always make that choice, change it if you need to. You can always just supplement it with an open addendum in the NVAR forms. I think it's form 703, 704, whatever the open addendum is. Blank addendum.
Yeah.
We're going to change this, client say, and have them initial it. Good to go. Sorry, I just know certain form numbers, and that's one that I think I remember pretty well. The other form, if you're going to do an office exclusive, it has also been cleaned up for language. So it just tells them, some things about what we have of the studies, but if they so choose to go ahead and do the off-market for security, for whatever reason they want to have it off-market and let you do it, that's fine. In this case, you're just not going to use the MLS. We just need to know about it because we do collect data on off-market listings and when they sell, so that way we can best gauge on the market when we're gathering this data. And that also helps other agents to understand how the markets flow, whether they be on-market or off-market property listings. Some agencies won't do this. I don't know RE/MAX's policies or Galaxy's specific policies on that. So I know some Century 21s will do them, certain areas. They don't do them at all. Guys, think of it this way. We're giving you the option to do this where other MLSs say, no, we're not doing private listings at all. Kind of against NAR, but this is us interpreting what's best for our clients in this particular market. And then they just have a little bit of initial, sign it, and they're good to go. Any questions on the forms? Anything online?
Which form is this one?
This is the office exclusive form or limited marketing form.
Since we don't do a lot of. Okay.
Yeah. This way you can see what it is, know it. If you're not going to use it, don't use it. There are agents that say, I won't do it at all.
I have a quick question. My apologies,
Yeah.
I missed it. So usually we just submit this to our backend, to our documentation.
Yes.
Where on MLS we have to upload? I thought that's what I heard. We have to
Yes,
upload it now to MLS.
you do have to upload it to the listing.
Okay. Well,
All of them are just office exclusive?
Just office exclusives.
Just office exclusive.
Yeah.
But the other ones you need is SkySlope to get paid. To
Yes.
Make sure you have
Yeah.
that for your commissions.
Ooh, I like that. You got to have this form to get paid. I like it. Just because I popped into it, this is, just so you know, yesterday, tax day, also was default new listing management screen day. New system is defaulted on for everybody. If you are not used to the new system, go in and play with it.
I used it
Get
last
familiar.
time. Yeah.
It's got a lot of really cool tools, including like object detection that is available to us. So if it says, hey, there's a swimming pool. That's right. The community offers a swimming pool. I need to add that to community features. So it's looking for things like that. And it's smart AI that's going to use it. You still have control of the listing. So if there's something that it says, you can always retract it out. I'll show it real quick just in case it ever does come up for the office exclusive form. If I need to find something, I can also type it in. Take me right to it. So if it's a yes, you'll get prompted to choose that file here. And it's important that this be the only place you put that office exclusive form, except with your actual brokerage. One, we don't want this visually outward to anyone else in the system. So that's protecting you and your client because they have chosen this option for their first set of marketing. It does not display within the documents. Please don't put it in documents, guys. It would pain me to see that go out there and just, oh, you've let the cat out the bag. Now you've been on the market for 6 months in an off-market status. You've probably already marketed. People probably know about the property, but don't want to accidentally do it too early. So
Say it again, what is it?
don't put the office exclusive form in your documents library, only here. Because this is a safe, secure place that is only visible to you as the listing agent and the broker for the office.
But wouldn't that listing also be visible only to limited people because it's office exclusive listing?
It is only available, so visually wise in the system, it will never appear to anyone other than the listing agent and their office manager broker. That's the only way that's visible. Now, if the brokerage, Remax Galaxy has a way of sending out their office exclusives in a different form, that's completely on the brokerage. That's using the broker's clout to actually do it. I didn't want to hang around too far on that one. Show you guys real quick, the actual listing controls. It's like, say my client doesn't want the address on the internet. Well, if I come down to remarks and internet settings, right below the remarks section, you have all your internet settings. I have the seller authorizes on the internet as no right now. So that to me is option 2B. It's making it available as an active listing to the MLS and its participants.
And Zillow won't pull it.
Zillow won't pull it. Now, if it was on Zillow at another listing, if it's like a resale and the history could still be out there. You don't have control over that, unfortunately, unless you were the listing agent before. Then it's a quick email to data correct. If, say, they want it syndicated out to like Zillow, Realtor.com, Remax, Century 21, Long and Foster, everybody, but they don't want the address, it's right here. Seller authorizes the address to be on the internet.
Will it show just the city and state or
So like if you try to find a property on Zillow this way, it'll give it like a generalized area of the city that it's in, but it won't actually physically say the address. The other thing in here, you can turn off AVMs. Who knows what an AVM is? You had it, valuation module. So realtors, yeah, or Zillow's Zestimates. I always call them out because that is the funniest word I've heard, Zestimates. It makes me want to zest the lime.
They're so inaccurate.
Exactly, that's Realtor.com's What's My Home Worth is another.
Homes.com where they have all 4 of them and then an average.
That probably would be even more inaccurate.
But people look at the estimate.
They
They
do.
decide
And
because of that.
and that sometimes creates the time that you have to be, yes, we understand Zillow's doing this, but you're not choosing Zillow as the brokerage. You're choosing me as sorry, I'm tapping on the thing. You're choosing me as your agent. I'm telling you what I could potentially market this property for today if you were to go ahead and list it.
No, the seller only. The buyer, when they see the estimate less than the listing, they don't go see that property.
And that should be,
They should talk to their agent.
they should be talking to an agent.
Yeah, so how we can, there is any way change that the estimate? How we can?
Unfortunately, that's Zillow's product, so we
It's a
can't,
third party.
yeah, it's a third-party product, so we can't touch it. We can't tell them, hey, your stuff's inaccurate. That's on their algorithm.
That's
You're
what they
notoriously-
specialize to do.
Yeah.
Notoriously cocky company and usually realtors hate them. And they bought the showing time now too, so even worse.
Because somebody will get
We'll work on it.
pre-approved and they'll see, well, this estimate says my monthly payment is this, but then they get pre-approved and it's a lot higher.
And that's,
But they don't.
then
know
let's
what
actually
the-
have that conversation with a real lender and see what you're pre-qualified for and see what you can actually truly earn based on, or afford based on your income. We have a few calculators in here too, but I always say the best way to do that and have that conversation is to, let's bring in my, my affiliate lender and let's talk with them, because they're going to provide you the best information out there. So the other thing I wanted to do,
So you can take all the media, you can hide the pictures too?
yep, you can hide the media. That is, thank you for pointing that out. Now, in an off-market status, say you close on the property and 2 months go by. Oh, Siobhan, this is Ken. You know, we bought that property 2 months ago. My clients want you to take the photos off.
Yeah, get that.
That is now an email to data correct.
Oh, email.
But you as the listing agent have the say to go ahead and remove that hassle for yourselves later on by auto hiding the media in an off-market status. So what this does is by selecting this, it'll automatically take off all the syndication of all but one photo, and that's a primary exterior photo of the property. So that way, those photos still retain within the MLS for data. It keeps the agents from going in and removing all their photos, because there's a lot of public records that don't even have an exterior photo, and it becomes an issue. Whereas we don't have photos, we have no idea what's taken place on that property. You know, maybe they've added additions to the property over time. We as the agents can now look at that, look back at all the prior listings, see all the photos, all the data, and get a better estimate of what that property could be worth based on what our marketability is. But you can do that. Now you have to choose one main exterior photo. From here, it'll take, if you click on that, it'll take you directly into the photo carousel here. And if I want this main photo right here to be, I just have to go into edit it, keep when closed, and that was my keep when closed. And you see how that little banner is now on that photo? This will be the main exterior photo that's available once that goes into an off-market status as closed, temp off, or withdrawn.
Is it gonna pop up on old, like my listing now that just went active yesterday? Can I change it?
You can still change it. There is one thing. Remember this, you still have access to change everything in the listing 14 days post-closure date. So if we close today, I have 14 days to make edits. So like say the listing, I had it listed for $585, but we actually closed for $590. Well, I didn't update the close price. Oh, I need to do that edit. I can still do that edit to 14 days after. So you have 2 weeks from the date of closure to make that edit. So keep in mind that date of closure counts as day one. So let's talk, now that we've talked about all the rules, let's do a little bit of fun. Who wants to find some buyers or some sellers? Let's talk about some prospecting. So let me jump out of listing management here.
So a question about this yesterday, because I was putting a listing. So it's usually, normally in the normal one, I have 2 active, 1 pending, 1 temporary off. But when this came, it showed me only the 2 actives. The pending and the other one, I didn't see them.
You want to make sure your property type, well, not property type, but listings status. This will, actually, this is big enough now, it actually doesn't need me to squire.
So I went back to the old.
You can also flip over to list view, and you may need to include the specific for the, where's it at? I don't see it in here. You can choose all statuses for it, and I can't seem to find it now. Filter by,
Was it there where it said active, change that?
oh, yeah, statuses.
Yeah.
Thank you. This still throws me eyes-wise because I've been using the old listing management since MRIS. Who here has been around since then? Yeah.
I like that.
I dated myself, and not that I'm taking myself on a date. But you have that, and
Okay.
this is just a way to help you manage those listings a little bit better. So that way, if you know you have the one temp off, oh, I flipped my status to temp off. And you can do all statuses too. So that way it shows. If you only have 5 listings, it's not going to take up too much real estate. Sorry. I'm a punny guy, or I think I am.
Yeah, sure.
I have a question about the previous one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the one you said that edit one, it says like you can have like a main picture while the property is inactive or it's been sold.
Yeah, that was just so in an off-market status. So closed, withdrawn, or temp off.
Cancelled.
Or canceled is the other one. You know, closed is going to be, of course.
Can you maximize your screen there and change the view so because
I am as big as I can be.
No, you can go to the view and remove.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm not used to it. Where's the mouse? Is it asleep? Oh, there it is. Let us change view here. Or I can always slide that down. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I am not used to using this.
So if you go to view,
And let's.
whatever the view is, okay.
We still have some good time.
Sort of down.
I don't know how to do this.
You can probably double click on the pane.
Keep going. I'll take care of it.
So let's do some finding of people, or as I call them, needles, because we're always looking in a haystack, right? So what I first want to do, even if I'm just going to hunt and peck a particular neighborhood for listings, I can go in and do that. It's not going to hurt me any to just be looking at, hey, what are some recent sales? And I'll be completely honest, I don't know too many neighborhoods over in this area. So for me, I'm probably just going to choose Lake Ridge. It's the easiest one to do, right? So if I'm looking, I'm just going to say, I'm going to look for things that recently closed in the last 30 days because I want to pick apart some of those potential sellers or maybe find them. In this case, if I know this, does Lake Ridge classify as a town?
It's a neighborhood.
It's a neighborhood.
Okay. So let's go to subdivision neighborhood. Yeah, Occoquan does. I know that one does. I actually used to do Aquia Harbor all the time because it's also an incorporated town.
Oh, yeah.
It's odd like that. So if I just want to focus on, say, Lake Ridge, go into the subdivision neighborhood. There's a lot of Lake Ridge. We're just going to choose that one today. And of course, there's 12 matches that have sold in the last 30 days within that particular subdivision. So I want to know those results, and I kind of want to see where they are. So here we have that in the results tab. Look at that, all those up arrows means that they're paying highball. So let's just say I'm going to focus out here. There's 2 sales out here on this little bitty, these are all townhomes. I will be happy when we get the larger map. Yes, that will eventually come. The larger map will come. We've tried with the 3-pane and other MLSs. There was some troubles with it. The agents that were using that under Cotality's other matrix searches were experiencing some problems. So we've elected to hold off until they get them fixed because we'd rather give you guys a product that works. So let us choose. This one here is a nice little right picking. And I'm hopefully not going to pick something that's been in this office. So in this one here, closed on the 20th. So we're not terribly far out. 30 days ago, 4-bedroom, 3 1/2 bath, closed at $650. I am going to copy and paste this little puppy right here. And I am going to open up a public record search in another tab. By the way, you're now speaking to Realtor Ken. So this is just for the office. So I have a couple different ways to do this. I can put the address here and do a range search around that if I'm looking for the property specifically. What I want to do, I want to use the map search for it. I'm going to go ahead, pop that address in. I'm just going to go out a half mile. I guarantee I'm going to find some sellers. So I know this particular community has a lot more turnover, but it also is a very large, substantial. If anyone knows the other side of Prince William County, you've got Braemar out that way, huge subdivision. You also have, of course, Lake Manassas, which is also another large area. I happen to know that particular market pretty well. It's when I get out to this side of Prince William County and the I-95 market, I start to get confused. Yet my first transaction was out here in Woodbridge. And it was a rental back in 2018. So let's choose, we know we're in a residential market. And I want to make sure that I don't have anyone maybe within the last 10 years. Would you say that's a safe assumption? So I want that and before. People that have been in their homes. So this case, we'll do 04, we'll do 01, 2016. And older. So this is where I always double check myself. I always say that the Pac-Man symbol wants to eat its greatest number. I also say the point should be pointing in the direction you want it to go. So if you want it to be going older than that date, make it go to the left. Point going to the right, it's going to be before the actual date. It's going to that date and closer. So let's double check ourselves.
It says 0.
Yeah. So that means I might have done something wrong.
Anything I put there,
Plus, I do
went
plus.
0.
I do plus, like to see.
You can also do negative.
I think you put the number of days there.
No, it's not
No.
about
No.
Recommendation.
Even if
You
you
want-
put single family house, it will go 0.
So in this case, property class shouldn't be a factor here. Settlement date. I always make this mistake.
Plus or minus there.
You don't want it in settlement date because we want recording date. Because ours, and it shouldn't matter too much because PA and New Jersey are also on the settlement date, but they focus on that. So if settlement happens to happen on a Saturday or a Sunday, they'll record it on that date. They'll backdate to that. Like for me here in Virginia, when we bought our house in 2023, Shenandoah County didn't get the final paperwork until September 15th, and we closed on the 31st of August. So they have us as September 15th. It's the date they recorded it. So let's put in the recording date, and that changes us. Let's make sure we're still residential properties. Now we're cooking with Crisco. Now, I also say you can do a couple sale amounts if you want to. I actually don't focus on that because I also want title changes. When we go into the actual, and let's make sure that these folks still own the home. So owner occupieds. Yes. So 307. How much is a stamp? Keep this in mind, marketing budget wise. It's 50 cents?
50, I think it's 53 now.
I can't remember. I buy like books of 57. So 57 cents. Let's do some math here just to kind of get an idea of our
78 cents, by the way, guys.
Is it 78?
One stamp?
Oh,
You
yeah,
do 42.
I remember my husband saying it's
Unless you have those timeless ones you want a long time.
So let's do, and for everyone online, 307 properties at 78 cents a stamp. And this is setting a mailer. It's whatever you're going to mail out, whether it's, hey, I'm a new agent, but I'm skilled and know what I'm talking about, or I'm an agent that's been in this market for a long time. I have the knowledge of this market, and I can guide you to the best options for listing your property. Whatever message, whether that be potential renters and first-time home buyers. And Siobhan, watch my time to make sure I don't go over.
Oh, you're fine unless
Yeah.
you have another appointment.
I just have to make sure I leave on time because I gotta have
At 1?
I've got a Zoom
Okay.
a Zoom training.
I put that,
You have 14 minutes.
that arrow. That's my computer.
I was gonna say,
I did that arrow, it worked,
it worked?
yeah.
Awesome. So, for those following along, let's look at our results. So this is where I can make sure the recording date, I'm gonna move this down here. So that way I know, okay, good. I'm not wrong on which way my arrow is pointing. What I
This
can-
one didn't have an arrow anyways. I'm gonna put it, because that's 1998 there too.
Yeah, I want that. So you can do the minus
All right.
after that date, and that also is a hotkey item. So, like the asterisk in search, you can do that. What I want to do from here, I've made my check. This is bread and butter. I could list in this neighborhood off this. By the way, this is not my listing. Does it have to be your listing to prospect in a neighborhood?
As long as you don't call and it's on
Well-
call list.
If I were this agent and I didn't prospect anywhere near here, my broker needs to slap my hand real bad. Because here's my thing, and this is like I said, you're talking to Realtor Ken. So if I'm out, 2 doors down, cul-de-sac. Within the cul-de-sac, there's 2 within 10 years that have been in their property longer than 10 years. Right across the street, within other part of the cul-de-sac. Gosh, doggone it. Perfect. What I want to do, when I go to get my sign put out front here, I want to talk to this neighbor, this neighbor, this neighbor, and this neighbor specifically. Reason being, hey, my name's Ken. I'm listing your, and I'll mention the owner's names. And what I want to do is say, hey, if by chance you see the lights on after 9 p.m., call me. Why? I want to make that connection. And then here's the thing. If everything goes through, 24 hours later, I make a sale, we go ahead and go under contract. We'll say a 30-day close, right as rain. What am I gonna do? Even if I don't prospect to them and they're not within my prospect list, I'm gonna send them a thank you for absolutely nothing. Why? I'm making a memory. I'm making a touch. They didn't call me to do anything whatsoever, but that agent remembered me for just thanking me for making sure that their neighbor's house is secure and that their electric bill's not gonna go up because of it. So that's something that I always say. You're looking for ways to make a memory to anyone within that community. And here's the thing, you can do something similar. Just cultivate that message and take every single one of these folks that are right here. I don't even have to do, I could just literally make a ton of money right on this little block. I can take and say, okay, let's delete that shape for the moment. And I can jump to that address. Oops. Let's copy that address one more time. jump to the address, pins it. Now I don't have another object in my way. I'm sorry for everyone, I gotta make this a little smaller. This is hurting my eyes. Yeah, so much more real estate on the screen here with the small little thing we have. What I can do, take my freehand tool, just the street, and just around it. Just that little bitty cul-de-sac area. And I'm missing some. And here we have 16. A very small amount of folks just on that street that I can guarantee saw that real estate sign. And now I can prospect to these 16. I can take all of them, export that out, and for those that, I'll go a little slower here, I just hit the little button up here to select everybody, or I can use all. Come down here to export at the bottom under actions. Grab the name and address, click export. Now, you can see I show this a lot. If you ever take the prospecting webinar that's on Bright, I'm the one that taught it.
I do that, but in a longer way, much longer way.
I'm trying to help you, save you a little bit of time.
Yeah, thank you.
So, and here's the one thing I always want to look at. There's two columns here. The owner do not mail and the property do not mail. If there is a yes on that, you can't physically do a mailer to it. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about door knocking, but that is a valid form of marketing that we as agents do have. So I like the ability, personally, I don't do it a whole lot, just because I'm lazy. And lazy realtors don't make money, but I hate saying it that way, but it's the truth. If we don't get out there, let people know we're out there, we're not making money. We're not out there doing business. So all these folks, I can take this CSV file, upload it to my CRM, my prospects right around the house for that address. I can go out and do the same thing with those 307 before and just say, this is that neighborhood, a half mile from address. You also have, yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? So the initial page that you went to put all that information in, can you show us one more time how you got to that?
The criteria screen?
Oh, is it just a regular search criteria? Or?
It is a, so this is the public marketing or the public research, public record search.
And how do you get there?
Right from search, public records. It's also on the main Bright page, right next to residential sale.
Okay.
So you have access to those pretty easily. Also, under results, to save yourself a little bit of time, you can also just take those 16, do a print, come down, make sure you have everything down here. So we know who we're talking to. We have the property owner at the property address. So in this case, I want to print that to PDF. What's the glorious thing about PDFs? Save them, send them to the office admin, give them some work to do. And she looks at me like, shut up.
So I have a question about,
So, and the one good thing, go ahead.
So you said that when I was looking on your Excel sheet, it says that do not mail it to the people.
Yeah.
Or something. How can I find it?
So Under that Excel file, it would be under column F, would be the owner do not mail. And then the last column is property do not mail. If there's a yes there, you can't mail it. Now, reason why I say print it from Bright, our system's smart enough to know that if there is a yes in either of those columns, it will omit them from this address. And what you're gonna do, the 5160s are the mailer label paper that you can get at Staples, Home Depot, not Home Depot, Office Depot, Amazon, wherever you want to get that ream of paper, and it'll print it out on that page for you.
Okay, so that's a question.
Yeah.
That's great, but do you suggest anything that we can find their phone numbers? If I just download this to a system, what do you suggest? To call them as well?
So with phone numbers and emails, Bright does not acquire that information because what we're getting from this is the actual property information. So it only is going to be addresses. So this is really good for mailer campaigns only. If there are other Remine was phenomenal to get phone numbers and emails. I have not been in Remine in probably 8 years. It's been a long time since I've played with that system, so I don't know if they still offer it.
Yes, RPR offer it, yeah.
RPR might. I honestly, I don't get into RPR enough to know really well that system. So,
I like it.
what was that?
Said I like it.
I know it's a good system. I'm amiss to actually have been in there enough. So,
Question.
yeah.
How did you get there? Now I did Excel sheet.
So
Excel-
from there,
Excel sheet.
just you can go back into, and under actions, you can do print, and then you'll get a list of print options.
Hold on. So now I am on the list.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Do print, okay.
print, and then you'll get a list of this. So print 16 different parcels. You can choose any one of your results setups that you have, or down here under sketches and then mailer labels at the bottom.
Yeah.
And you have a couple different options here. So say that owner doesn't live at the property address, but they live elsewhere. They have another mailing address. Maybe it's an investment option of, hey, I also do property management. In your market, your home could rent for $4,500 a month. Or I do vacation rentals. I have no idea if there's any moratoriums in Woodbridge against, short-term rentals. I know some communities are doing it, but I love my Airbnbs and Verbos. I also do travel, so that's why, and I don't get paid from them, but I like them when I do travel. But so I have that option at the owner's address. I also have one other thing I can do here. Let's clear our map real quick of just my little drawn area. I'm going to jump into our criteria real quick. So let's put our address back in and go out that half mile.
So question before you go. When I did a property address, it gave me the name of the people.
Yes.
When I did owner address, it gave me current address.
Yeah, it'll show us current address.
Current resident.
Yeah. It's also based on what the wording is there. So it could be current resident or owner. Mm-hmm. But here, let's flip this to no. Now we have 70 properties whose owners have a separate mailing address than the property's address. This identifies them being elsewhere. That also identifies potential tenants. So now you have a different campaign that you can send a different message to. Rates have hit 6.5%. They're back down. They didn't skyrocket to over 7% like we thought they would last month. Let us not, if you're paying $4,500 a month, I bet you I can get you into a home for that or less. Let's you and I have a conversation with a lender. And also, check with your office's preferred lender. I bet they'll go in on that mailing with you. Or any lender would do that. I bet they would at least share half that cost for the postcards. Maybe they'll pay the coverage, you pay for the postcards, they pay for the, or they'll cover the postcards, you cover the postage. They'll worry about printing it. And you can do that same mailer with the results of these 70. And we'll just hit all here to get all 70. Print those out. Yep, I'm right on time. So, and let's just do current resident. It'll now say current resident at the property's address. You guys feel good with this information?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
I might have to have you come back.
Yeah.
I know I shoved a lot in your brains really quickly.
No, but it's good. I learned how to do that. Now we have the label already. Just go print it.
Yes.
Wow.
The best part is we have it recorded too, so it's gonna go on our YouTube channel.
Don't say that out loud. I'm not supposed to let you guys record.
Oh, okay.
It's not recorded.
Give it a different title.
Just do a flash of like orange or something like that for the picture.
Good to know. Thank you.
But yeah, don't say that to Jimmy when you talk to him next.
I've been talking to him a lot lately.
I know. He said if she asks, tell him I got it.
Okay, good.
So, online, are there any questions?
Ken, I'm still confused about how can I find it again? If you can show me a little bit about like, how can I find the do not mail, or if the customer said yes?
Let's go ahead and export and print these ones out. So let's go back to results. And under actions menu, export right here. At the very end, I'm waiting for that might not be my mouse. Choose name and address. And then you have export here. And then it pulls it up as a CSV file. For those on Macs, it should still pull up in Sheets perfectly fine. I just have not really worked with. I have a MacBook Air, and I personally hate carrying it around with me because I feel like I'm going to break it because I'm a klutz.
And it's tiny.
And it's tidy. I still prefer to use my phone a lot of times. But right here is where you get that. So owner do not move. We've got some no's here. If you are trepidatious about doing that, go ahead and just do a print to see if they're on there. Just make a note of the name of the owner. And I'll just expand that. And just look for the names. Now, you may run into...
Owner do not mail. No. Is no a yes mail or no for mailing?
So this one here is on the owner do not mail list. If it says yes, they're on that list.
Okay.
But if it says no,
default should be
they're
no,
fine, or blank, because there's still people that don't know about that from the U.S. Postal Service.
I'm about to say, how do you get on that list?
You go to USPS.com.
I want to be on it. I'm so sick.
This much.
That's what your clients are saying too.
So,
Oh, I'm sure.
and that's how we get to these to get to that column to export it out. And guys, if you do see some information like withheld by request, this is going to be one of those weird ones that I would probably go ahead and just door knock that or just omit that one. But if you see SURV, survivorship, so it might be Annette, and I'm going to assume it's Solomon. Yeah, they probably went by Tim.
Salmon is both of their last names.
Yeah, so I'm like, my brain's not working here. So Timothy and Tim and Annette, one of them has passed. So the other has owned that in survivorship. The other thing you'll see here is TR, trust. So meaning that the estate has been put into a trust. More than likely one has passed. It's what we did for my father-in-law when my mother-in-law passed away a couple years ago. One, because it's an easier entity to have to deal with when it comes to the inheritance taxes and things like that. So the trust takes care of that. It's the legal entity that pays out. And you just have the trustees are named as the individuals who would inherit the property. So it's just a legal entity. It doesn't mean that you can't send it to them. It's just other ways. And you would probably also see this in the price. I'll just finish this up here and end us on a high note. Like this $0 one. And I will expand this out. Trust. So that means when this changed in 2014, it means that Lewis and Shirley enrolled their property, their actual deed of ownership into the trust. So it's a $0 sale. You'll also see that with legal separation. So asset separation during a divorce.
So what did it mean, this zero? Sorry.
Just means that there was $0 for the sale. There was no money that exchanged hands for that deed to change. Because when you put it into a trust or someone passes away into survivorship, the will, or not the will, I keep saying will because we had this issue with my father-in-law. The deed has to change. So there's a change in title of the property. And that's what the $0 means.
Or in divorce also?
In divorce. Yeah. So that is it, guys. If you need anything at all, don't hesitate to call me. The big QR code goes to my calendar. So you can always ring me up, email me, and I can schedule one-on-one with you. Keep touching the mic, I'm sorry.
I already did.
I'm looking for the pen.
I already did.
You already scheduled time?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. No, that was great.
Yeah.
Ken,
Yeah.
those that was written as we told by request, something like that. What was your explanation of that? I didn't get that.
Honestly, I don't know because that's the first time I've seen that one.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah. So in that case, I would just either omit those or door knock them.
Okay.
If they have a no solicitation on the door, don't leave anything. But, know that case that if they don't, you can always leave a door hang. You could always put your...
Or just kept them. People who are that savvy don't like solicitors.
Exactly. So,
They don't want
Yeah.
their name out there. They don't want
Exactly.
They're not gonna do
So-
that either.
guys, I'm going to end my side of it. I'm going to turn this over to Siobhan if she has any final statements to make or anything like that, or I'll let her close up. But thank you guys so much for having me, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the future.
We'll send a recording.